Away from that, government has announced a ban on all exploration and prospecting for gold in forest reserves effective Friday, April 30. Also, all reconnaissance licenses granted by the Minerals Commission have also been banned. Lands and Natural Resources Minister Samuel Abu-Jinapor announced the new directives at Jubilee House Wednesday.
Having the opportunity, I'll just seek to clarify just one or two things which are already in the public domain, which is that under the instructions of the President, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources is issued policy directives in respect of forest reserves. There's been a bit of confusion about it, and I thought this is a good occasion to clarify. The first directive the President got us to issue is that moving forward, the Forestry Commission should not issue forest entry permits for purposes of mining in forest reserves. The process is such that the final permit one requires in order to be able to mine in a forest reserve is a forest entry permit. The President got us to issue this instruction, which says that no more issuance of forest entry permit. And so, as from I think about 2 weeks ago, there cannot be fresh mining in forest reserves. If you've had a mining lease, you've had a forest entry permit before this instruction was given, you are not affected. So the directive doesn't take retroactive effect. But from now onwards, if you get a mining lease and you go to the Forestry Commission, the door is shut. So that's the first instruction that has been given. The second one is that the President took the view that people come for prospecting, recognizance, and or exploration licenses on the pretext that they want to go and explore for gold, and yet proceed to mine. And therefore, he got us to also issue an instruction which says, as from Friday, the 30th of this month, no prospecting, recognizance, and or exploration can take place in a forest reserve. So you cannot engage in prospecting, you cannot engage in exploration, you cannot engage in recognition. Whether you have a license or not, you have to cease. But just not just that, you are also to evacuate your equipment for purposes of exploration.
Now, President Akufo-Addo on Wednesday had a closed-door discussion with the Lands Minister, National Security, and 16 regional ministers to strategize on ways to ensure full implementation of recommendations reached at the two-day dialogue on illegal mining. Presidential correspondent Elton Brobe joins us with what happened. Hello, Elton. So we know who the people in the meeting were, but we understand that the Lands Minister clarified the earlier directives on the mining permit.
Yes, exactly, Benny. So the new directive is that even though tomorrow the ban will come into force, those who have already been issued with recognizance or exploration or forest entry permits can still go ahead and undertake their activities. That is for those who already have permits for such activities. Those who are in the process of securing such permits, the ban affects them. But those who already been given permits for reconnaissance, for exploration, for forest entry, such individuals, the law or the ban which comes into effect tomorrow will not affect them, which literally means that they can go ahead and undertake their mining, exploration or reconnaissance, or they can still go ahead and enter the forest reserve for the activities for which they've been granted the license to do. So that's the clarification the minister brought to bear on the directive that is taking place tomorrow when he met the president. This meeting was between the National Security Operatives, the Ministry of Interior, the Ministry of Defense, the Minister for Local Government and Rural Development, as well as the 16 regional ministers, also attended by President Akufo-Addo, the Vice, and the Lands and Natural Resources Minister. Now, my information is that starting tomorrow, the ministry will publish names of companies that have been granted mining these forest entry permits, as well as the cognizance permits. They'll publish such names. Those that have been given, those already having the license to undertake such activities, and those that have been banned, so that the regional coordinating councils can now enforce the directive starting tomorrow.
Elton, before you go, we heard from the president just before that dialogue that resulted in the recommendations. But what is his response to the recommendations?
So unfortunately, after the minister gave his introductory remarks, the media was asked to vacate the room because they were now going into closed session to discuss the merits of the fight going forward. But my information is that the regional ministers were there, because it does appear that throughout the entire country, there is gold deposits everywhere. The regional ministers themselves are the chairpersons of the Regional Security Council, so they will be leading the enforcement of the government ban in the mining sector, because they have declared river bodies, forest reserves as red zones, which means that no activity should take place. And for that reason, they have to go out and enforce. The President Akufo-Addo, even before that one said, he's already directed the military to undertake swoops and ensure that they seize and prevent people from mining around water bodies and in the forest. And that particular exercise is ongoing. And tomorrow, the military high command will update the nation on progress made so far, and when and how they intend to carry the exercise beyond the central, western, into the Ashanti and the eastern region. President Akufo-Addo also, I'm told, that instructed the chief of staff and the finance minister to make money available to ensure the sustainability of the particular exercise, because they don't want to start, leave it, and then come back to it. And also a call to the defense minister to ensure that their men act in accordance with the law, be professional, to avoid the situation where the people who are at the forefront of fighting this become the problem themselves. So these are the marching orders that the regional ministers, the defense, the interior, the national security, as well as the local government ministers were tasked with at the close of session, according to my source. All
right, we'll leave it here. Elton Brobe is presidential correspondent, giving us updates of that meeting between some ministers and the president. Well, Michael Adeba is vice president of Galamsey Action Group. It's a group that's advocating for the banning of galamsey, which is destroying our environment and river bodies. He joins the conversation via Zoom. Thank you very much, sir. So you have some demands of the leadership in the Western and Western North regions. Briefly outline what those demands are. Hello, Mr. Adeba. Well, we are trying to reach Mr. Michael Adeba back on the line. He is with the group Galamsey Action, and they are demanding, in fact, they have a petition to stop galamsey and irresponsible mining practices in Western and Western North regions of Ghana. So let me just bring you some highlights of that petition. It says, on behalf of the people of our two regions, and on our own behalf, we, the undersigned, would like to bring to your attention the following topical issues currently ravaging our dear land. They go on to talk about the natural resources in the country, especially in the Western and Western North regions, and say underneath our lands and our shores are even more valuable minerals and oil resources. Unfortunately, our people have gained little or no benefits from these resources. And they talk about how in the past 10 years, irresponsible and illegal mining have left unspeakable devastation in their land. So thankfully, we've got Mr. Michael Adeba back on the line. He's vice president of that group, Galamsey Action Group. Thank you for your time here this morning. So quickly, share with us your demands, especially to the leadership of Western and Western North regions and traditional authorities.
Thank you for inviting me to your program, and good morning to your listeners and viewers. I'm Michael Adeba, the vice president of Galamsey Action Group, Ghana. As I said, we pleaded when we sent a petition to the government, even to the presidency, to the parliament, to stop Galamsey on our river bodies and our land, to which our river bodies and our lands are being affected. That's the more reason why we sent the petition to our people.
All right, so I have a copy of that petition. In point 2, you are respectfully demanding that Nananom, that's traditional authorities in your region, support and enforce without fear or favor the call by the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources to halt all licensing for the prospecting of gold, bauxite, or any other minerals in our forest reserves. So, from your group, is it your perception that government is not receiving the needed support by traditional authorities in the Western and Western North regions?
Yeah, it is true. The government is not getting the needed support because, let's say where you are working, if you don't give me the permission, I may not enter. So it is the government, the chiefs who have been giving land to those people. So if the chiefs cooperate with the government, everything will be okay, and those things will halt. That's our main reason. So it's the government to instruct the chiefs to stop those things. That is our main plea to the government.
This petition came 2 days ago, and this is after we saw that dialogue here in Accra to deal with the menace of illegal mining. Was your group part of that discussion?
No, we're not invited, but we sent previous petition to Parliament, and it was read by Honorable Rashid Papu, supported by Honorable Akufo-Addo on Parliament. That is why we send those petitions even to presidency and to Christian Council as a nation.
So are you satisfied so far with the recent directives from government?
Oh, we are pleased with what government is doing, but we are pleading to government that it shouldn't let this one be like what happened the last time. We wanted our river bodies, our land to be safe. So we are pleading. We are pleased with that, but we are pleading to government to at least enhance the security more so that these things can stop once and for all.
All right, thank you for your time here this morning. Michael Adeba is Vice President of the Galamsey Action Group, which has sent a petition, copied the President and other relevant agencies and persons, and they're basically asking that